So this is just going to be a quick one on the basics on how to build a berry base. So you'll want to start off with a base that's similar to this, or it can be smaller, bigger, whatever you fancy, but as long as it's got water, that's fine. And I usually put a fridge in. You might not need one, so if you don't put it in, but I prefer to just have one in there. And then we'll get the battery in. This will be for the power to the lights and the water purifier and the water pumps and everything. Now this is just like a box area where you can put like your workbench, stuff like just storage and stuff pretty much. This will be where you put your water purifier, but make sure there's like a little motor on the side of it. Make sure you can see that, because that's where you need to connect the power to. Now I've grabbed a couple of water pumps. We'll place them in the water bit, and you also need to make sure before you build the base that the water area is deep enough, otherwise you won't be able to place this in. Now if you just could chuck a couple of doors on, and that should make this a bit more secure. The only reason I put the water pumps on the inside is because you always get someone who will come past and just destroy them, so better have them on the inside of the base than the outside. Now we'll get down to the planter boxes. With these, there's a snap in, so it'll like lock onto the floor, and then once it locks, that's where you want to place it. Just because that means you can fit all of them in, like perfect. That one went a bit wrong, but it is what it is. And this is basically what you should end up with. But we've still got the electrics to do, so we'll get to that. This is roughly what you'll need for the electrics. I think, round about what you'll roughly need. Now if we just get on the roof and we'll place one wind turbine on one side. And then we'll place the other wind turbine on the other side. Now it's time for the electrics. If you come back down, head to where your TC room is. You get the root combiners. Just place this. This allows you to add 2 wind turbines to one like large battery. Just because sometimes when I've set them up, the power flickers and stuff like that. I don't think it matters too much, but I prefer just to have it on. So if you grab your power from the turbine, bring it inside and then connect it to the root combiner. Then the first light should come on and the other light should be red because it's waiting for the other wind turbine to be connected. And if you just connect the power out to your battery. Now if we just go outside and get the other turbine, and then we need to connect that to the other side of the root combiner. And there we go, that should be both turbines connected. That should be your power going up. If you see the number at the bottom, that's going up, that's your power. That's how much power you've got saved up pretty much. So if your turbines ever get destroyed, then you've got all that power left to use. Now we'll start setting everything else up. So if you just start putting all these next to each other. And then if you grab your power out from the battery, connect that to the first one of these on the power end to this. There you go. And them lights should come on. Now if we just connect each one of the top ones to the bottom of the next one, and do that all the way along, and then they all should turn on, and you'll see by the green lights that they're on. And then for your configure, I just set all of these to 20, just because it's just easier. I don't think you'll need them for anything else unless you're setting up turrets in the base, which if you do, then just add some more across the top and configure them to 10. And if you need to set up turrets, I've got another video on that too, so if you want to check that out, and then you'll know how to set up a berry base and turrets. If you don't know already, of course. But once you've set all this up, if we just grab the first one that hasn't got any power out and connect it to your water pump, grab the next one that's empty, bring that to the second water pump, and there we go, the water pump should now be turned on. And if we grab the third one that's got nothing attached to it, bring that around and connect that to the water purifier. And this is why we needed that motor bit on the a part you can reach, just so you can add the power to it. Now if we connect if we grab the hose tool, and we'll start connecting up the water purifier to the water pumps. But you also will need a fluid combiner and a water pump to do this. I think you do. We'll look for a spot to put this in. Doesn't really matter where you put it, because you can connect it from anywhere really. Now if we grab the first water pump, let's figure this out here. I haven't set one up in a while, so... Oh yeah, when you put the water pump, not the water pump, what's it called? 2 minutes. That's it, the fluid switch. If you just grab this and then put this here, this is just so we'll have a switch for the water, which the fluid combiner needs to work, I think it does, but I'm not 100%. So now if we grab our hose tool, grab it, bring it up here, and then we'll connect it to the fluid combiner. Doesn't matter which one you put it in, as long as it's one of the top ones. And then grab the second water pump, bring that through, connect that to the next one. You can put 3 on these, but I think we only need 2 for what we're setting up. And then if we bring that down, connect that to the switch slash pump, and then connect that to the water purifier. And that should be working once we switch it on. See, it's not filling up. If we just switch that little pump bit on, then you should see this bit, the salt water. This is the salt water side, the black one. That should be filling up. Now if we go to the other side, that should also be filling up, and this is the water that you're going to use in your sprinklers. So now if we just grab the sprinklers and the lights, and you want to set these in so that it would hit 4 squares, if you know what I mean, because one light or one sprinkler fills 4 squares. So we just set them up each there, and then set the sprinklers each next to them. Now the rest is pretty simple, but this is what you should be looking at the minute. So now, if we just grab the water hose tool, bring this to the sprinkler, and there should be a connection. There you go, the first one's on. And now with this, there's a pass-through option. So if you just go to the other side of the sprinkler, you should be able to connect each sprinkler together, and that should have them all turn on. And for the lights, if you just come back over here, there still should be an area that you haven't used on these, on the electrical branch. If you just grab that, connect it to your first light, then there should also be a pass-through option for your lights. So you just connect all your lights, and that should be it, pretty much done. And there you go, fully functioning berry base. All these should be filling up, as you can see. Some of the further ones may take a little bit longer, but every planter should now be filling up with water. And there you go, there's your functioning berry base. All you need now is the clones or the seeds. And also, I have no idea about God clones or anything like that, so I don't even ask about that. I have no idea on how to get God clones or how to get the best clones, so